Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of Talk Exchange. Today we have with us Derek from MidState, who supplies the Exchange Club with all the great apparel that you've probably seen people wearing over the years. And Derek is going to have a really great interview today with Tracey and Kristie, learning not only about his company, but also how Exchange members can purchase the products and show their pride for being an Exchange member. Thanks for listening, and we will see you again next week.
Welcome to this episode of Talk Exchange. I'm Tracey Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club.
And I'm Kristie Lindahl, Director of Communications.
Hi, Kristie. How are you doing today?
Hey, Tracey. I'm a little horsey, but spring allergies, we'll call it.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And
how are you?
Probably a lot of talking.
Yes.
To the boys in a louder voice, maybe.
Sometimes.
Yes.
It happens.
It does indeed. Well, around here, the spring is lovely. It almost feels like August, which I'm fine with. I'm enjoying that.
The flowers, the grass, the trees. So early, it's beautiful.
Definitely. It really is. So I hope everybody's enjoying this time of year as we are.
Yes.
We're excited to have with us today one of our great partners. Thanks to MidState and Quality Quick Print for their partnership. They have hosted our merchandise website where people can shop for all things Exchange. And they have graciously printed our program and a number of other things in support of our national convention, which is coming up again. So we're excited today to have Derek Gidditz with us. Hi, Derek.
Hi, Tracey. Hi, Kristie. How are you both doing?
Hi, Derek.
Great. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. You know, it's Thursday, like you said, long weekend ahead of us. So pretty excited about that. Always cherish those extra days in the sun, especially as we're getting out of the winter of the Midwest,
Yes.
Absolutely. How are things in South Dakota today?
Warm. I mean, 78's
Nice.
a nice, that's bearable kind of warm, right? Once it gets up into those high 90s, that's where it's like, okay, now I don't like the sun as much. Or the sun maybe doesn't like me.
Right.
Our friends in the South are a little confused now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, today, in fact, this week, I've been to a couple of Exchange Club meetings, and it's always fun to go in and see people wearing Exchange branded shirts and see their banners and all the things that they're using that are emblazoned with the Exchange emblem, because, of course, that's what people recognize. That's what we want to get out into communities across the country. So we're excited to have you with us today to talk about our variety of merchandise and what's possible and how people are using it.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I would say about our stores that makes us kind of unique is, and when we approached you with this idea, was that we do products on demand, right? So there is this get what you want and not have to pick from this downside selection where you have to predict sizes, you have to predict colors, you have to predict even branding. Now I know that the NEC logo is probably a focal point, but there's also individual chapters. And so if people are interested in, getting those additional products with their chapter or custom products that they're not finding, maybe they have an idea that they've seen somebody else do and they go, hey, we want to jump outside the box and do something a little bit more creative for an event that we have coming up this summer. What would you say to this? We're happy to help the NEC team in providing those products, but I think they just reach out to you and we can kind of help find anything that they're very well looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. You all have been wonderful. Just over the last couple months, we've received quite a few requests for new banners. Different than what we already offer, maybe a little tweak here, they're a complete overhaul. And it's been so simple, really. We contact you, we tell you what the club wants, and it's been that easy.
And that's really nice because, we started doing banners a while ago, so clubs are probably ready for a refresh or something too more customized to what they're doing, right? Their events and activities that they want to show off. Nice. Well, you've been a great partner of ours in setting up our site. And to your point, it eliminates the problem that as a vendor previously we had where we would stock a lot of shirts and then, be stuck with various sizes, as you mentioned. So we love the on-demand option for this. That's one thing that attracted us to this model. So it's been pretty great. And I'm always surprised by the large selection that you already have available.
Yeah, I definitely think the on-demand component can pare it back. Like if you do get into inventory, there can be a ton more options, but I think we have hundreds of thousands of options that we
Hmm.
can produce on demand. It's just a matter of finding out what you're looking for. Like I saw those Lone Star Texas flag shirts, short sleeve, long sleeve. You got a polo version of it. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're in Texas and you're not rocking that, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like those are I might just say I'm from the big state of Texas just so I can wear one of those. It's
Well,
pretty
our
cool.
our convention in San Antonio in
Hmm.
July, so we're expecting to see a lot of people rocking those shirts.
That's right. Buy those shirts, y'all.
Definitely. And pair it with a hat and boots, you'll fit right in.
That's right.
That's what it's about. So, what kind of information do you have to share with our members? What might they want to know about the selection, your company, anything in particular?
Yeah, I mean, so some things about Quality Quick Print Mid States again. What I would say there is we've been in business since the 80s. You know, we are a second generation family owned business. Roger Fikert started in his
Nice.
garage in the late 80s. And we've been in business well over 40 years now. He then bought into Mid States, which was the Dakota farmer at the time. That was back in the 1800s. And he has then passed the torch on to his two sons. You have Matt and you have Justin. Justin is a veteran. I am a veteran. Brady Byram, our
Oh,
sales manager, is a veteran. Our production manager is a veteran. Like we have veterans all over the place. We are fond of and a fondly patriotic company. And so I think that really aligns with the core values there too, that you guys are a patriotic
yes.
staple of our nation. You promote a lot of patriotism. And so we greatly
Mm,
appreciate that partnership as well, going that way. Some things,
yeah.
Derek, first, thank you for your service to our country.
yeah, you're welcome. Happy to have done it. It was a proud thing to do, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
So one of the things I would like to talk about as far as service offering that I think goes a little bit further that we just brought on was a direct to garment machine. So we have embroidery, we have dye sublimation, we have screen print. Those are kind of old school staples. Direct to garment is kind of the new wave that's coming into the fold. And what it's going to allow us to do is on-demand t-shirts with creative design. So we're talking about those summer events, we're talking about those winter events. And the thing is that image, whether it's a hoodie or a crew neck or a t-shirt or whatever it be, can go on multiple different products. Yeah, they have a really soft hand. They're not, if you're doing a soft shirt, you want a soft logo.
Yes.
Typically what you used to do was heat press vinyl, which heat press vinyl has its place. I always, as a
Hmm.
kid, think of my basketball jersey with heat press vinyl. I started the season as number 18 and ended as a half an 8.
Yes.
And it's just I don't want to sell that as a quality product.
Mm,
Whereas this is rated for 50 to 60 washes. You don't have this big thick sticker on your chest
mm,
while you're wearing a soft shirt. And so you kind of get that it matches the feel of the quality of the product that you're receiving. And again, what you can do from a design standpoint is limitless. Like whatever you kind of can think of as an image or whatever kind of culture thing you're trying to project while simultaneously co-branding it NEC, totally doable.
yeah, and I have to say, even though we haven't seen that in person, the colors looked amazing.
Yes.
The way I mean, you could see the gradations from the black to the blue to the purple. It was
Hmm.
beautiful.
And
Mhm.
that may be a good solution. What do you think about some of our really long club names? Would that
Hmm.
be a good solution to put those on the club name on so it looks a bit better than say embroidery where all
Mhm.
those letters are stitched, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So depending on the type of material, so like you're thinking about for a polo, so like this is a polyester polo. Our machine has the ability to do direct to film as well, and so on
Okay.
polyesters we do a direct to film. But let's say it's a cotton polo, then absolutely, it's going to go on there really well. Polos are also something that just the way that they're used is not quite that of a t-shirt, so you're probably going to
Right.
get even a little bit more longevity out of it. And then
Hmm.
your partners and your patrons that do it, they might not be necessarily wearing a polo every single day either. So it's
Yeah.
I think it's going to get a lot of use out of it, and it's going to last a long time.
So, I mean,
Nice.
actually, a lot of options and ways that
Hmm.
you can customize the shirts. And I do want to clarify that our members don't have to know what type of process they would like.
True.
when they contact us. That's why we work with MidStates and Quality
Yes.
Quick Print to determine what's going to look best on which materials and
That's
vice
true.
versa.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. So we appreciate the information, and then
Yeah.
we'll sort it out for the member, right?
Yeah, know that
makes
we
sense.
have those
Absolutely.
options and we're going to pick the
Yes.
best one.
Absolutely. Yeah, people have been happy with the quality of the materials that are
Yes.
coming through.
hmm
Definitely. Talk about some of the other options out there for people, Derek.
Yeah, so even in embroidery, you still have the ability to personalize. So if you do like that thread style on a shirt, we can always do, if it is just a chapter name that goes beneath, we have screen print as well. Like I said, that has personalization. That's going to be one though where if you're doing a few more than 25 or something like that, if you need a group of shirts, but again, you can do your chapter personalization on those products. We do banners, like you said,
Yes.
because of the different styles. So those might be a vinyl style banner, or it's a more fabric banner. And again, we can do either one of those. So depending on the type of feel of the material or what you want, that it all depends. And like you said, we're going to point you in the right direction based on your use
hmm
case. So if you reach out to us and say, I have an old banner here, it's hung with grommets, we have the fixture for it, we really like the way that that's done, you're going to reach out to us. You're going to explain to us what your partner said, and we're going to say, absolutely, we will do XYZ in order to accommodate said need. And so we definitely pride ourselves on being experts in the industry. We do a lot of different things
hmm
in a lot of different ways, whether that's, like we said, signage, apparel. We do the print. We do awards, all of that stuff, and we're going to find the things that work best for you and fit your need.
Yeah, that's really the biggest goal of this here is to make sure. I mean, we've talked, and I hope a lot of our listeners have heard our discussions about
hmm
branding and
Yes.
being uniform with our brand. This is one step in that
hmm
process to take the worry of this out of our
hmm
members' hands, but also because it's much like when someone calls and requests a new billboard artwork.
hmm
We go ahead and put that online because somebody else could be using it. So we have the same advantage here with MidStates and Quality Quick Print, where that if one member asks for it, bam, all of a sudden it's available to all of our members. So it's almost like a think tank.
Well, that's true. And also, Kristie, tell that story about the member that contacted us wanting to have shirts produced locally because they thought they would be less expensive.
Right.
hmm
And it was a great experience, really,
hmm
because that member was happy to be able to use our site, but not aware of how many options. Once I got on
Right.
the site with her and we talked about it and walked through, she said, I had no idea
hmm
that it was so easy and there were so many options. And that really is the goal of
And
this.
cost
Yes.
effective
Yes.
options. So it's, yeah, I know people sometimes think it may be less expensive to go to a
hmm
local vendor, but truly it works out equally as well, sometimes better to go
It really
through
does.
us.
And because of our relationship with MidStates, they do give us great pricing on items
Yes.
because they want our members to feel like they're getting not only a great quality product, but great value
hmm
from the services.
Well, absolutely. And that way, to your point too, we can assure the branding. We can
Correct.
assure that it's proper and reflective of the exchange brand and looks
Right.
nice as
And
well.
quite honestly, quality
hmm
products.
hmm Absolutely.
Wouldn't you rather take some quality products to hand out at, a
Yes.
parade as opposed to something that anybody can go and find at the Dollar Tree?
Well, you're
You
right,
know,
because we want our members to be proud of the
yeah.
things that
hmm
they hand out, the things they wear, the things they model in the
Yeah.
community.
We're
Absolutely.
going to steward their funds in the best way
Yes,
possible.
most definitely.
Yep. Yeah, to just echo that a little bit, you go online, you shop somewhere else, you might see a cheaper price and you might be able to just dump a logo in there. But what are you going to actually receive? Where did it come from? With us, you're supporting American made products. We are
Yes.
right here, like I gave the spiel about who we are and what our core values are. Um, I just don't think when you're shopping online you really can do that level of a deep dive and fully understand who you're working with until it shows up in a box from China.
Yeah.
And then
And you've already paid for it.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's important though for our members to know that they're supporting a company with American-made products that's run by a lot of veterans, right? That's very important too. Aligns quite well with our core values.
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in there too. I believe Exchange has infiltrated their offices.
I believe
we have members running around in their offices.
We do. We've seen them on some of our calls in the Zoom background running around.
And at the convention.
Yes, that's true.
So it's really a great partnership.
It is. Yes. Great. Thank you. And if you're interested, Derek also has his own podcast, I guess with your brother, right? Two Peas in a Pod. Your friend, 2 Peas in a Pod. Check that out as well. Thanks to you, Derek, and our partners over at MidStates and Quality Quick Print. If you want to learn more about merchandise, check out the great selection. Please visit nationalexchangeclub.org and click on shop. And thanks for listening to this episode of Talk Exchange.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.